I cherish this time, this meditation time each week. So thank you. Thanks for showing up so that we can do it together. Today, I was meditating on attachment and all of my attachments and observing through both my own practice, but also I always look at because I have so many people I'm connected to, like always about 30 people that are training with me as coaches and healers, and then a good 20 or so that are either working with me directly or with my folks. So I get to read um, the collective. I get to read kind of what's showing up, and I find there are themes that I say on a given week. And so in the last week or so, I have found myself saying this, that when we attach to something, we suck the life out of it. We suck the goodness out of it. We suck the soul. We suck the essence out of it. And I'm just going to give you a benign example. And this relates to neutral mind. So, those of you who know the inner alignment teachings on neutral mind, it has to do with that. And let me just give you a snippet of what that means. So, neutral mind is very much that if we get too attached to something in the outside world, meaning positively, I'm so excited about this, or negatively, I'm so pissed about this. Either way, we're going to tip the canoe. So if you just see yourself kind of standing on the top of a canoe, really holding steady to our own midline, our own center, right? That's the goal, is to be so connected to the bliss that nothing outside of us will tip our canoe. Nothing positive, nothing negative. And it doesn't mean there's no excitement or joy in life. It just means that the joy is so very much connected to the earth, to the divine, to our hearts, to that vertical line, such that we don't, it's just everything else is a cherry on top or a tiny loss. And so, as soon as we get attached to something outside of ourselves to give us our happiness or to prevent our happiness, and then we start to really, whatever your control strategy is, fawn, freeze, flight, whatever you do. But whenever that starts to happen, the essence of that gets contorted. So, benign example, I'm doing some stuff in my backyard, putting in some concrete and some ipe wood and tile, and I'm doing some things which I've never really done before. And I'm so excited about it. And of course, there's going to be a lot that goes wrong with that attachment to everything looking a certain way or being a certain way. It's just a small project. But so the more that I think, oh, this is going to make or break, this is just going to make everything great, the more disappointed I am, the more controlling on the contractors I am, the more disappointed I get because this isn't going to be this. And the more I'm spending money because I need it to get into, like, right? Just a small example. And now the backyard is my biggest headache. So we do this in relationship. This person is going to be my juice in life. And then they're on their phone 24/7. And like, what the hell are you on the phone for? You're supposed to be my connection in life or the job or whatever. So I tell folks this a lot. About every 6 months, I quit my marriage and I quit my job. Now I've been married for 27 years. But I quit my marriage whenever I feel like I'm getting attached to him being any different or needing to be any different in order for me to be happy. Or if I start to feel fear of, like, what if he were to die? Or what if he were to choose chocolate instead of raspberry. So I do that as a way of just knowing, no, it's okay, Kim. You'll be okay with or without him. No, it's okay, Kim. You know who you are, whether you're doing this work in the world or not. So whenever my ego starts to identify or attach, I let go. And I go through the inner process of fully letting go of that thing that my ego mind has attached to and told myself I'm not going to be okay if it's not in my life or it's not a certain way. And so I see it as a practice. How can I practice just letting go completely? And that's how, in my experience, I breathe new life into that marriage or into my career. If I spend 2 weeks saying, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm just going to let it go, then I get to start anew with it. I get to develop a new relationship with it. I get to recreate it. And it might turn out looking a lot like it did last year, but it has a completely new consciousness. And it's that new consciousness, that fresh look, that fresh relation that allows love and joy and bliss and non-attachment. But non-attachment is such a tough thing to get, which is why I'm trying to give you the examples of how I work myself into non-attachment. It's not spiritually bypassing and being like, whatever, I'm good, I don't care, because that's not true. Anything I love, that would bring me grief if it was gone, I'm probably a little attached to. So it's not spiritually bypassing and it's not going into disposability. So those with open upper chakras would be like, oh, whatever, and just go, I'll just connect with divine. It doesn't matter. Well, it does matter in the human aspect of me. And it's not, oh, whatever, I'll just find a new husband. It's not going into disposability or being transactional. So that's not what I'm talking about. It's about really letting my heart unclench from the thing that I tell myself I need in order to be happy. Just letting it go for a little bit. It's kind of like a toddler with a lollipop. Like, I must eat the lollipop. I have to have the lollipop. I need it right now. And you just kind of get it to unclench its hands and put the lollipop on the counter and say, after dinner, it's okay. You'll be okay. That's what it feels like in my body of like, no, it's okay. I'll be okay. So that's what I encourage you to work with today in this short meditation we're going to go into. Take a topic, any topic that has fear attached. That's how you know there's an attachment, because there's fear underneath it, or there's control around it. Whatever that is, just bring it to your mind's eye now as you come into your breath. Closing your eyes. And as you breathe into your body, just feel into whatever it is that you've been grasping, grieving, attaching. And as you breathe your way into that space, just allow yourself to be with how you feel about that situation or that person. Just notice where you feel that in your body. Whether it be financial or relational. Notice the sensation of that grasping or the fear. Begin to concentrate a little bit more on the sensation in your body. Just allowing whatever's there. We're focusing on the fear of what if I didn't have it, or what if I don't get it. Breathing into that space and just begin to draw your breath into there, whether that's your chest or your belly, your head. If you will, run the scenario that you try not running, whatever that is, the divorce, the loss of the job, or the money. Just allow it to take up the space in your body, if you will. Just allow it. That project that you thought was going to be one thing but turned out to be another, just feel that fear that it might have to go or might fall apart. And in your body, if you will, just allow it. You can let your mind remind itself it's not happening. But you're going through the body exercise of just letting that scary thing happen, that loss. Staying with yourself. So for me, I've spent all this money and it's ugly and it's doesn't even work. So keep breathing. It's like an onion that's being peeled. Every breath allows you to go into sensation. Try not to engage the thoughts. The thoughts are where the emotion is. We're getting underneath the thoughts and the emotions and just going into the feeling of it not happening. Breathe into it. Allow your body to let go of the belief or the idea that things were going to change or be different than they are. Good. Keep breathing into it. Keep feeling the sensation. Just allowing what is. Staying focused on how that feels in your body. You'll need your breath, your prana. Breathing in and letting go. Letting it happen. Not letting your thoughts get involved. You're just allowing. Just allow it. If you can, see if you can feel the ego release it a little bit more, the mind releasing it. Staying connected to your breath, breathing into where you feel that in your body. Just letting go fully. As you let go, see if you can simultaneously feel like you're okay. See if you can notice that in this moment, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's okay. And if it doesn't feel okay, just begin to call in the divine, the violet flame, the divine light, an angel, your guides, Buddha, Jesus. Call in the divine to fill the space. So often we're just looking for the divine in these external circumstances, people, experiences. Open yourself. Let the divine into that space. You might need to breathe the divine into your belly, your chest. Receive. Just open the space for the divine in whatever form to fill that space that you thought would be filled by that external person or situation. Divine, please fill the spaces. Please bring me the love or the strength, the wisdom. Please restore me into the wholeness that I am. This is going to take the same amount of concentration to continue calling divine into that space in your body, into that part of your life. And it's not a one and done. This is a practice, so keep breathing the light, that sweet nectar from the divine. Allowing the divine to fill the space where you are placing the attachment. yourself now to just see yourself okay, safe, connected, worthy, and loved. Feeling like you matter no matter what happens to you externally. See if you can hold that in your body. See if you can place whatever it was that you were attached to into the violet consuming flame. Just ask the divine to transmute this situation, this person, this backyard project, whatever it is. Just ask the divine to purify it back to its goodness, its sweetness, the essence. And ask the divine for assistance in allowing you to relate to it with purity of heart and a pure surrender, like you're releasing it back to the divine so it can be of the purest state. Your divine, take this, transmute it back to its essence. As you do that with a relationship or a project, all of the karma, the lineage, all of the patterns and the trauma attached to it will melt off of it. It'll transmute. So allow yourself to know that this can be transmuted back to the lightness and the purity, and the joy. Transmuting the burden or the pain or the angst. Divine, restore this, resurrect this situation back into the light. Sanctify, make this sacred, this backyard, this marriage, this friendship, this job. Do this now, please. Restore each of us back into the love that we are. Just feel that. Allow that. It can be that easy. Can you let it be that easy? Divine, say it with me. Restore this, restore us back to divine perfection. Purify this situation back to the light, back to joy. And as you feel that, as you command that, And yes, you can command it for the divine. The divine is waiting for your command from your will, your desires. Anchor it in. Anchor that right in by saying, "It's so it is done. So it shall be. And so it is done." And then, as you stay here, you can anticipate a shift. Not expect, but anticipate that because you have commanded this, it will be done. And even if you don't see it immediately, the divine manifestation is like a chessboard. There are things that need to be shifted. So you can trust the divine. You can trust your call to the light. The light always shows up. Holding this intention, if you will. Amen. Thank you, you guys, for doing this. And if I could just quickly share that I've been doing this on my backyard project. Now, I chose my contractor because I knew he was in his heart, but he was also very inexperienced. But I chose him because I knew he could handle me and that he was kind. And so he had the raw materials of consciousness and good intention. And then when things got hairy, I did this practice. I just let it go. I let him go. I purified him. I prayed over him. I prayed over the other guys. I transmuted karma. I was violet flaming. I held the vision. I saw the number of what this ultimately was going to cost because it was looking like it was going to get a little out of control. I just kept working it every day, you guys. A benign thing, but to me, my backyard matters because I stare at it. And this is probably the last house I'll ever be in. And it meant a lot to me. It was something I cared about, aesthetics. I care about beauty. And so I just kept going back. And when it got hard, I just kept praying on them. And because I knew he had enough consciousness, I could tell his soul could receive it. Does that make sense? And we're okay. We're at the end of the project. And there's still love and there's still kindness and there's still respect for each other. And there's kind of, well, who's going to pay for that? Well, we're both going to pay for it. Like there's just a lot of consciousness that has stayed here. And at any point, it could have gone bad. It could have gotten ugly. And those of you who have done big projects can probably understand what that looks like. This practice works. I had to let go of the backyard being anything other than a pile of mud. I had to let it go completely. So, whether it's big issues, little issues, I encourage you to continue this practice. I don't know what to call this practice, but it's just complete surrender. Namaste. I love you.